Hello and welcome to a new stream by Excel Academy. My name is Johan and I will be your host in this video or in this live stream. Okay, so sorry for the cancelled live stream on Monday. I've been sick for the last 5 days. In the little village where I live, we have like this crazy flu pandemic or a pandemic, how do you call it? Like literally everybody was sick. Also on my on the office where I work. Normally I work from home. And once a week I have to go to the office. I didn't want to go, I had to go, and a day later I was sick. So that was really fun. But I'm mostly better now. You still hear my voice is like totally terrible, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to do a little stream where we go further on our eggs in vapor. Okay, so I had, from the last stream, we had a few questions. Let me see really quick. The first one's Oprah Guy. So Oprah Guy 3351, he also followed my Vapor series on the REST API of Excel Academy. Let me see what he has to say. So the extension collection where element user model is so cool. It's my first time to learn how to write code like this. Some of the model needs to match transfer before I wrote stupid for loop. The extension looks smart. Okay, so this is why I like to work with Swift, right? Apple allows us to make extensions on Swift-specific frameworks and Swift-specific elements. You will also see this later in a series that I'm recording, where we are writing, like, for example, property wrappers for Swift UI, for example, right? And yeah, this Apple makes this really easy for us when we are using Swift. So that's why I like to do stuff like that. Okay, so I have a question for the public model. Oh wait, the second one. I followed your last Vapor course and saved the field keys in a specific folder. Every time I need to add or change some keys, I have to jump different files. Put them on the model file makes it so much easier. So yeah, this is the thing is I change my way of coding like every few weeks. Every few weeks I invent something new, or I think about an easier way to structure a project. The time when he was following my series, I think it was 2023, 2024. I was like, I put like everything in a separate folder. I also had a time where I put everything where I worked in modules, and now I put it under the module. It's like I've been coding now in Swift for almost 13 years. No, not 13. 10, 11, sorry, 11 years. Because Swift was introduced in 2014. And over the years, you start to notice easier ways to do something, or maybe easier ways to structure your project. And that's why I did this. Okay, number 3, I have a question for the public model. I guess this X project has a web version, so you have leave. So the public model for web. Well, the public model, so the model that we used inside the user model, is just to display public information. And this is also for you as a user important. So it doesn't even mean that it is for like when other people are visiting your profile, it's also for yourself. It's really bad practice to send a password hash that is stored in the database to a client, even if you are the client, right? It's not a good way to show you guys what the hash is of the password, because let's say, for example, it gets like intercepted, right? You're on like a public Wi-Fi. By the way, never do that. Never go on a public Wi-Fi. But when you are on a public Wi-Fi, and sometimes they intercept something, and if there's like if your website made a mistake, if your website made a mistake, or your developer made a mistake, and the information from the database is not encrypted, or it's not sent in encrypted to the client, somebody can capture that piece of information, and they can see your password hash. And okay, with bcrypt, it's not that easy to how do you say this? So it's maybe not that easy to decrypt the bcrypt hash, but it happens, right? So we have to watch out for that. So that is why we use a public model, just to make sure that we send information that is not, it's not dangerous, okay? So the next one, Sneaky Fox Studio, can you share the source code? Yes. So I created a Git repo where I'm gonna push all the code at the end of the stream. So even if you guys don't want to code it yourself, or you just want to have the code to see how it works, or you just want to copy and paste it for your portfolio, do your thing. Okay, don't worry about that. And yeah, okay, so the URL is also in the new down in the comments below, down in the description below. So I'm gonna close this. Let me open Xcode. And as always, if you have any questions, just let me know, or down in the comments below, or come to the Discord channel, or ask me here in the chat. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so in the last stream we created the tweet DTO, the user DTO. We talked about status, database schemas, the tweet model, user model, and we also started to create like the CRUD protocols. And we also created some helper protocols, some tweet protocols, and user protocols. And the idea of this whole, the thing that we're doing in this live stream, we are programming protocol oriented, right? So instead of object oriented programming, we do POP, so protocol oriented programming. So we put everything in protocols, we let protocols inherit from each other, and then when it's finished, we let the tweet model or the user model, we create an extension of tweet protocol. This is a really cool and easy way of coding. It's also something that Apple is really endorsing. They love it. And also when you're going to work for clients or you have like these technical interviews, right? A lot of developers, they love it when you work protocol oriented, okay? So just so you know, that's why we are doing this as well. So let me see. Let's go to database schema enum. So we already created users and we created tweets. And let's now create the retweets model. So we go to models. I'm going to do new folder. We're going to call this retweet model. Command N, Swift file. And we can call this retweet model. Import Vapor. Import Fluent. Final class of retweet model, and the retweet model is going to be of model. Let's open this one up. Okay, so we're going to need a static let of schema. There's going to be a string, and this is going to be of database schema enum dot. It's going to be retweets dot raw value at id var id of uuid question mark. And now let's create the extensions. So extension of retweet model, struct, and this is going to be field keys. So for the people who still don't understand why we create field keys, I like to do this in a way where we can reuse this, right? So for field keys, for example, we reuse them inside the retweet model, and later we'll also reuse them in the migrations and in the seeds. Okay. So let's say we're gonna do, what do we need? We need static var tweet ID. So we're gonna take the tweet ID of the tweet that we want to retweet. So let me see really quick. So it's gonna be tweet ID. Then we can say static var content. So if we want to add content ourselves, we can say content. We can say static var user ID. So we're also going to take the user ID of ourselves when we want to save this inside the database. User ID. And last but not least, static var created at. It's going to be field keys or field key. It's going to be created at. And I think this is all the information that we need, right? So we can say add field. And there is a problem with my Xcode today. For some reason, it doesn't. Code completion is a disaster last few days. I don't know what happened. So dot is going to be the tweet ID. So var tweet ID, and this is going to be of tweet model dot ID value. add field key. So the key is going to be field keys dot content. Var content is going to be string. Add field of user ID key, and we're going to say field keys dot user ID. Var user ID is going to be user model dot ID value. So as stated before, we could create like a parent relationship, but I like to run the query separately. I think it's easier to work with, and it's yeah, I don't know. I just find it more performant than using a parent relation. 1 second, let me grab some water. Okay. So last but not least is going to be created at, so that's going to be the timestamp. Add time stamp. Let's open this one up. Wait, and I think timestamp is with a normal S. This. Let me check tweet model really quick. And yes, it is. So back to retweet model, and be key of field keys dot created at on, and this is going to be dot create var created at. It's going to be of date question mark. And now we can create an initializer, and we're also going to create an empty initializer required init, because this is required by Vapor itself. Okay. Now, so this is done. You know what? Let's create the other models also really quick, so we don't have to walk around all the time. So we're also going to create a blacklist. New folder. Blacklist model. Command N. Swift file. This is going to be blacklist model. And we can say import Vapor, import Fluent, and we can say final class of blacklist model of model static let schema is going to be it's going to be a string is equal to database schema enum dot blacklist dot raw value add ID var ID of UUID question mark. Okay, so what do we need for the blacklist model, right? So when we want to blacklist something or somebody, I think we can use blacklist. We can use that for users or for tweets. So let's say struct field keys static var. So are we going to blacklist? Yeah, let's do blacklist user. So we can do user ID. Field key. This is going to be user ID static var reason. So we're also going to add a reason when we want to blacklist somebody. And we can say static var blacklisted till. And this is going to be a timestamp. So we can, this is going to be field key. And we can say blacklisted till. And let me see. You know what? We also need the user ID. So we're going to use the user ID for ourselves. So we're going to say blacklisted user ID. That's for the user that we want to blacklist. So blacklisted user ID. Okay. So now we can say add field key field keys dot. This is going to be the user ID. So that's going to be us. Var user ID. So the reason why we have to save ourselves is because we need to return it, right? And normally you use a parent relationship for this. I'm just going to use a query systems for this. So we're just going to query everything from our own user ID instead of creating the parent relation. Just as I find this easier to code than working with the parent relation. So after that, we have the field key of field keys dot reason. For our reason is going to be a string. Add field. We can say key. Oh, and this is going to be blacklisted till. Yeah, we could use timestamp, but no, I think it's easier to use field till. There's going to be a date. And last but not least, it's going to be the blacklisted user ID. So we're going to say add field key field keys dot blacklisted user ID var blacklisted user ID. And let's make this a little file, like just like this. And this is going to be user model dot ID value. Okay, so let's create the initializer. And we're also going to create a required init, just like this. Okay, so we created now two models. And let's see, what can we do? Okay, so for the retweet model, let's start with the retweet protocol. So we're going to go into protocols, new folder. We can say retweet protocol. And we can do command N. Retweet protocol. Okay, so for the retweet protocol, we only need two protocols. We need just create and delete because we're not allowed to update the retweets. But now I'm thinking about it, we're also using an update function for tweet protocol that we do for the publish date. So maybe we can do the same as what we did for the for the tweet model. Okay, so inside retweet protocol, import content. No, not import content. This has to be import vapor. Import fluent protocol, and it's going to be retweet protocol. Let's open this up first. So first we're going to take CRUD protocols, and let me check really quick how we provided this the last time. Okay, so you know what? We can copy and paste all of these. And then we have to change this around a little bit. So let me, inside DTO, we're going to say new empty file, retweet DTO, import paper. And this is going to be struct of retweet DTO of content. Okay. And instead of this, let's call this create retweet DTO. So we need the tweet ID. This is going to be of tweet model dot ID value. Let content is going to be our message. It's going to be string. And let's also create a struct update retweet DTO of content. And this is going to be let publish date. It's going to be date. Okay. So now we can say create retweet DTO, update retweet DTO. This is going to be retweet model, retweet model.id value, and the user ID is going to be user model.id value. Let's open this one up. If I have just a break, let me drink some water. My throat is getting dry. Okay, so let me see. Let me see how we did this last time. A tweet protocol. So we apply it, and after that we create it, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's open up CRUD protocol so that we have to, so that we know how it looks. Now we can say extension of retweet protocol. Let's open this one up. Okay, so the first one is static func is this one. So we can just copy and paste it. Okay, so we can say let new retweet is equal to retweet model. Let's take this one. And we can say the tweet ID is going to be dto.tweet ID. This is going to be dto.content. And the user ID is going to be, you know, wait, let me see really quick how we did this in the tweet protocol. I think we took the, yeah, exactly. So we use this one. Let me see really quick. You know what? Let's be bad. And let's copy and paste this all. We can just copy and paste it, so we don't need to rewrite it. Theoretically, we could also create a thingy for it. So we can open this one up. And I think we need one more. Yes, exactly. Okay. So for the user ID, oh, instead of here, let me see really quick. Oh, no, that is okay. And for the user ID, we can just call user ID, just like this. Let me see really quick. Okay, and after that, we can say try await. New retweet dot create on pack.db. And then we can say return dot okay. So I don't know why Xcode has so much problems with like out of fill today. I really don't know what it is. So this happened a few days now. I was working on the Swiss UI project the other day, and that also didn't work. So it was really, yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand it. Okay. So the next one is going to be the get function. So we can just take the get object here and just copy and paste it. Just like this. Let's open this one up. And here we can do guard let retweet is equal to try await retweet model dot query on rec.db. No, instead of query, let's do find comma ID comma, oh, we don't need the comma there, we can get rid of it, on rec.db, else we can throw abort dot not found reason, and we can say retweet model with ID of ID will not be found. Just like this. Oh, wait a second, we made a mistake here. This has to go away there, and then could not be found. Okay, pretty cool. And after that, we can escape this. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Oh, I noticed, let me make the code a little bit bigger for you guys as well, so you can read it easily, even more easily. And after that, we can say return, and we can say return retweet. Okay, then the next one is going to be get all objects. So we want to get all the retweets of one user. And now I noticed we didn't put this inside an extension. So let's first add this into an extension of a retweet protocol. Let's command X this, command V. After that, we're going to copy and paste our little friend over here. Extension of retweet protocol. And we can paste this in. Let's open this one up. Okay. So now we want to get all the get all objects, but we only want to get all the retweets from ourselves, right? Wait, don't we? Yeah, for now we want to. Okay, so then we can say let retweets is equal to. Oh wait, how did we do that with tweet protocol? Let's check with it. Let's check it really quick. Oh yeah, of course. We get them by the published. We don't filter them yet. Okay, so it's going to be private retweet model dot query on rec.db dot filter backslash no filter backslash dot $, and this is going to be oh, we didn't create a status on retweet, huh? No, we didn't. So we don't really need to filter. We can just say, yeah, we can just say .all because we're not going to plan a retweet. We're just going to retweet it, right? So we don't need to filter. So we can just say .all. Now we can say return retweets. Okay. So I noticed there was also so that is this one. Get my tweets by ID. And I think, I think we can reuse this my tweet protocol for the same thing. So we can just say, let me see, so my tweet protocol, we can copy and paste it. Let's add that in front of CRUD protocols. So comment v, comma. Extension of retweet protocol. And then we can take we can take the same, okay, this one. So we can take the same value here. Let's open this. And we can say let retweets is equal to try await retweet model dot query on rec.db. Wait, let me check this really quick. No, that's okay. We can say dot filter. Let me see. So backslash dot $, and we can say user ID. So the user ID is ours, is equal to ID, just like this. And theoretically, this should be fine. Are we using user ID as well already? Yeah, we are. So that's perfect. And we can wait. Did we filter them also on here? Did we filter them? Oh, wait a second. We don't really need we don't really use published, huh? So we can just say .all. And we can say return retweets. Okay, perfect. So let me think really quick. My God, I hear my voice getting worse by the second, huh? So extension of a retweet model, not a retweet model, this has to be a retweet protocol. Just like this. And we're going to take the update thingy. So now I'm thinking about something because we're not making it plannable. So why do we need an update object? I'm thinking about this now. Because what would we like to update? The publish date. But we can't update the publish date because we're just going to publish it. You know what? Let's make it updatable, but we're going to do the content. Okay, let's make this a string. Okay. So we can copy and paste this little friend here. And we can say, wait, I think we have the helper protocol, right? Let me see really quick. Does tweet exist? Oh yeah, of course. Because we have the tweet exist, but let's also create an extension on the extension of helper protocols, static func, and we can say retweet does exist. We can say rec of request, request, and we do underscore ID, and this is going to be retweet model.id value. async throws. And we could just be lazy and copy this one. And we can say let retweet model.find id on rec.db else. And then we can say retweet does not exist. And we can say return retweet. Let me check this really quick because I think we have one too much. Yes. So now in the helper protocols, we can take this one and we can put him in front of my tweet protocol like this. And now we can use that function as well, right? So now we can use like the, we can call like this function. Let me see really quick how we did this in tweet protocol. That's this one, right? So we can just take this really quick. Let retweet, and we can say retweet does exist. And after that, we can say retweet.content is equal to dto.content else retweet.content. We can say try await retweet.save on rec.db. Perfect. Now, last but not least, extension of retweet protocol is going to be the last one. It's going to be the delete function. And for the delete function, we can do the same what we did here. So we can just call retweet does exist. And we can say try wait retweet.delete on rec.db. And we can say return dot OK. And we also forgot the dot OK here. So we can say return dot OK. Okay, so we finished the protocols for retweet protocol for the retweet protocol. So now we can go to the retweet model, and we can say extension of a retweet model of a retweet protocol. And now we are able to use the retweet protocol which we wrote for this model as well. So this is pretty cool. And let me see really quick. Let's go to retweet protocol. I think this is pretty cool. And as you can see, we kind of reused the get my tweets by ID. That's this one. And now you see like how powerful protocols really are, right? Okay, so listen, I really hear that my voice is getting worse and it really starts to hurt. So I have to slow down. I'm gonna end this live stream here, but I just wanted to show you guys how we can do this and that we have something, right? In the next series, and I hope that's gonna be on Monday, we're gonna create the blacklist model, or we already created the blacklist model, but we're going to create the service for that as well. Let me go to the database schema enemy, and also for blocked, we have to look how we're gonna design that one, right? Because I'm not really sure yet. And we also have to start talking about how we can design the algorithm, and we also have to create the you know what? Let's create the followers, and let's also create the case following for ourselves. Yeah. So we also have to create the models for followers, so the people who are following us. Now I'm thinking about it. We only need followers because we're gonna put everything in the same table, right? Yeah. So okay. So in the next video, we're going to finish up the blacklist functions. In the next live stream. That's this one. After that, we're also going to create the blocked, and we're also going to create the follower system, and we're also going to add the functionality for that. And after that, we have to look into like the algorithm, right? So we have to check. I think we need likes for that. So let's say case likes. We also need that one. And then we're going to talk about how we can design an algorithm that shows you a feed that you want to see, right? I think this is the easiest way to do that, using likes and the people you are following. So I want to thank you all for following this really short live stream. It's around 30 minutes. It's not that long. I'm really sorry, but my voice it just can't handle it. So I'm really sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you learned something. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below, and I will answer them in the next live stream. And I hope it's gonna be on Monday. Apparently, my voice is not recovered yet. So, thank you for watching.